I'm Dom Nichols, and this is Ukraine, the latest. Today, we hear about latest Russian strikes across the country and Ukraine's continued counteroffensive. We learn about an online teleservice offering health advice to people outside the country. A tank update from former Commander Hamish de Bretton-Gordon. And we hear from our very own David Knowles, still somewhere on the road in Eastern Europe.
Bravery takes you through the most unimaginable hardships to finally reward you with victory.
This hideous and barbaric venture of Vladimir Putin must end in failure.
We need a military strategy for Ukraine to gain a decisive advantage on the battlefield, to win the war.
Nobody's going to break us. We're strong. We're Ukrainians.
Every weekday, we sit down with leading journalists from the Telegraph's London newsroom and our teams reporting on the ground to bring you the latest news and analysis on the war in Ukraine. It's Wednesday, the 14th of June, 1 year and 110 days since the full-scale invasion began. Today, I'm joined by Francis Dearnley, Assistant Comment Editor, Hamish de Bretton-Gordon, former tank commander, Rob Hicken, CEO of GPNow, and David Knowles. But anyway, I'd like to turn now to Rob Hicken of GPNow. I say the Ukrainian, it's a CrisisCare telehealth service. Rob, it's joining us from Singapore. Thank you so much for joining us today, Rob. Could you give us a brief explanation of the service and describe the work you do, please? Welcome.
Thank you, Dom, and thank you, Team Telegraph, for the opportunity to address your audience today. Yeah, my name's Rob Hicken. I'm the CEO and founder of a company called Practice Innovators International, and we have a telehealth platform branded as GPNow. We're focused on providing virtual care for the most vulnerable. GPNow's latest initiative is the Ukrainian CrisisCare telehealth service. Our journey started last year. We have a team in Romania who, when the war broke out, went to the Isachir border and started sending us pictures of the images of the 90,000 people flooding across the border from Ukraine into Romania. And we got together as a team and wondered whether we would be able to beam in doctors safely and securely from around the world to try and alleviate some of the pressure at point of care. So we're backed by Amazon Web Services. We got together, we did some due diligence in March. We did 128 tests into Ukraine, including occupied territory. And then we ruggedized the platform so it was fit for purpose, thanks to our friends, and completed 2 rounds of scalability and technical due diligence. And we launched the service at the end of March. It was a bit of a challenge, but over the last 12 or 18 months, we've been able to help almost 8,000 Ukrainian families in Ukraine, including occupied territory, across Europe and around the world. We've conducted 13,000 sessions. Each session, on average, is about 18 minutes. Our psychologists are typically on for about an hour or so. And yeah, we're very proud of the outcome so far.
Brilliant. Thanks, Rob. And when we were chatting earlier on, you described it as a hospital in the clouds, which I thought was a great way of describing it. So folk in Ukraine and elsewhere, anyone affected by the war, are able to go online and get, if not an immediate appointment, as in there and then, a live appointment with one of your 75 doctors, or be set up for one in the very near future. Can you talk us through that process, how that works and how people access this?
Sure, absolutely, Dom. Yeah, so we were blessed to have Dr. Vadim Ilyashenko, who's the neurosurgeon at the Oberig Clinic in Kyiv. He joined the team as our chief medical officer, and we were able to, well, initially we were hoping just to provide general practice, family practitioners to provide primary healthcare services, but we've actually now got 75 certified Ukrainian medical professionals. 12 are in Ukraine still, but the rest predominantly mums, doctors who have had to leave the country and are now located across Europe. They are refugees themselves and unable to practice. You mentioned McDonald's. One highly qualified doctor was having to work in a McDonald's to put food on the table. So we've onboarded them all. We have everything from dermatologists, oncologists, pediatricians, psychologists, neurologists, even veterinarians on the platform. And they're available 24/7. The patient journey is very simple. And if you do know anybody who would like free medical advice, comfort, and care, all the patient needs to do is register and then select and connect. The doctors are available real time, and we can bring in specialists if additional assistance into the call. Or we also have a reception service manned by Tanya and Evgenia from Mariupol and Crimea, who are online around the clock as well. It's a very simple journey. And as you say, Dom, with 1,100 or so hospitals and clinics that have been damaged or destroyed since the war started, and that doesn't include the destruction from last week's Nova Dam, the Nova Kargova Dam tragedy. And we have actually offered our doctors to assist with that. So it's a virtual hospital. We have been cyber attacked, and I'm pleased to say we've provided more than 2,000 hours of free consultations with zero downtime since the war, since we went live last year.
That's brilliant. And just moving on in the interest of time, but you were saying earlier on to me that actually having Ukrainian citizens doing this, firstly, there's immediately no barrier, no language barrier, and of course just having the softer side of it, the being able to connect about shared cultural references, geography, and so on and so forth is a real, on the psychological side, even if that's not the reason people got in touch with you in the first place, that is all very powerful stuff. Could you just talk us through that? And if you have any case studies that you're able to share, obfuscated obviously for names, but that'd be really powerful.
Absolutely, yeah. So we say we provide free medical advice, and these are highly qualified, certified Ukrainian medical professionals, the best of the best, who have been, most of whom have been displaced. But the comfort comes from Ukrainian citizens located in Poland or Germany or France or Hungary, anywhere across Europe or around the world. We've even had one patient in Vietnam, being able to talk to a doctor in their mother tongue, to be able to explain what the issues are. And then that's where the comfort comes from. And the care comes from how this group of 75 amazing medical professionals have morphed into a team, and they don't just take 2 Panadol and rest. They actually care, follow up, and work and pass through the patient from one to another. If you need psychological support, there's a case study about a young boy who's now in Israel on our website. Another young girl, she has skin issues, to be able to talk about that to a dermatologist, right up to now we're helping girls that have been abused, and we've helped patients and civilians and discharged soldiers with post-traumatic stress disorder with our psychiatrists and psychologists and psychotherapists. Buried in that 8,000 is one very special case, a young girl called Anastasia. She was 18 at the time. She came to us last September. She was alone, afraid, in a hostel in Poznan, and it was quite horrible. And she was dealing with a condition called chondrocodoma, which is life-threatening throat and neck cancer. She had a massive tumor, was unable to swallow, and we took her under our wing. We scoured all of Europe, around the world, Finland, Germany, Poland, and then we even the Colorado Children's Hospital in the United States. And then fortunately, we were able to get her transferred, tests done, and treated at the Leiden Medical University in the Netherlands. And she had 2 rounds of surgery, one in January and 2 more in February, the last on the 24th of February, ironically. And 3 weeks ago, we got the all clear. All the cancer has been removed. So it's a very eclectic service, and we are very proud of what this amazing team. The technology is great, but it's the people, the team. It's the Ukrainian steel of our support team and of the doctors that are working miracles right now. It's an amazing, inspirational group of people to be blessed to be working with.
Well, thanks, Rob. That's fascinating. Thanks for coming on today. We will, of course, stay in touch. We'll put all your links in the episode notes. And, of course, I imagine, like any other charity or any other group like this, you'll be keen to receive donations from anyone that wanted to assist. And it's scalable, I suppose, because it's all online. I mean, there's no limit. Is that right? I'm not.
Yeah, absolutely, Dom. When we did our preparing with Amazon, we know the platform can scale to 500,000 sessions a month. We're currently running at about 1,000. We can easily scale to 10,000, but our funding was exhausted at the end from Amazon was exhausted up until the end of 2022. I haven't been able to pay our doctors since February. We're desperate for funds. We have private contributions are available and corporate programs. We have a registered charity now in the United States for contributions, and we're on the Benevity platform. Companies like Adobe are looking at getting behind us. But if anyone out there can help us help Ukraine, we need funding to be able to keep the program going and growing, and any assistance would be sincerely appreciated.
Brilliant. Thanks, Rob. Well, like I say, we'll put the details in the show notes, and please do stay in touch. Rob, thanks so much for that. Rob, final thoughts, please.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Dom. And it's deeply moving. Francis